Good morning. It's our Dome from Home, and I'm Reese Barrick. I'm the director here at the Sternberg. And as you might notice from the sights and sounds, that I'm back out on the nature trail this morning. And so what I thought we would do today, we did one a couple of days ago, but I thought it might be fun to come around and take a look at some of our cover boards that we have out in the nature trail, where we do our studies of what kind of reptiles and amphibians we might have out on the nature trail. And a lot of these for our studies are animals that do get pit tagged, and we see how often we can find them. So I thought, let's come up and we could flip a couple of them and see what we can see. Now, Ian's not here this morning, so I'm playing a little bit on my own, but it's a little less windy, which is good. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. We have a Great Plains skink. Hi, guy. How you doing? You see he's got a little area that he's sort of carved out, a little home space underneath this cover board. Right, so it's a very nice, we had gotten some rain, so it's moist. He's got a cool place dug out here. We try not to bug him a little too much. He'll end up right back under here. But he doesn't really want to go too far away, if possible. And there he goes. Hello, little buddy. There we go. Hello, little guy. Oops. Howdy.
Hi.
Oh, there we go. Now I got him on here. We're doing a little Facebook Live, so I'm showing a skink that we caught under the cover board. Well, you could come talk to everybody, you know. It's like, look, we've got visitors on the trail. Hey! So, hey, success with our first cover board. We'll put him back under the cover board. And, whew, all right. Very cool. So let's go see what else we might be able to find. And it will be kind of interesting because, as you might have noticed, let's go this way. When I'm walking around and having to be the person talking and filming and trying to lift up the cover boards, makes it very interesting. So we have, you see, some little places where we have flags. These are places where last year we had insect surveys going on. And you can see We have places where we've got cacti. This is actually called Cactus Ridge. So if you walk through the grass through this area, you will find lots of cacti. You could tell it's kind of a cool time because it's still got a lot of brown stuff from last year, but we're starting to green up a little bit. And as you get over the trees, I hear a cardinal calling, which is kind of fun. And as we're walking along, you can see a cover board or two down this direction. So I thought we would head down here and see what we can find. I also happen to hear a chainsaw going on. So we might be able to go find Jacob or Curtis and see if they still have their snakes they found the other day. I'm running down a hill. Don't get dizzy. All right. Here's another cover board. Let's see if there's anything of interest. Nope. Looks like it's pretty much a couple of insects, and that's about it. And if we look over here, what do we have under here? We have all sorts of pill bugs. It's that time of year. And this is a nice wet place for them underneath the cover board. And over here it's kind of cool because you get some adults and you also get all kinds of little ones. So you got lots of small juvenile ones, and these are all arthropods. So we get all kinds of a variety of them. So it's not just reptiles, snakes, and skinks that you might find under here, but there's a good collection of all kinds of cool invertebrates. All right, cool. Let's walk over and see what's under this one. This one's a little bit more weathered, and we're getting over towards the creek. And oh, holy smokes. All right, it's Pill Bug Central. One of the things that we don't really want to find are under these are tons of ants. Because generally speaking, if there's lots of ants, we're not going to find any snakes or anything like that under them, simply because the ants sort of tear up anything that they find. So this is pretty cool. All right, well, let's see what else we got. Oh, look, we'd seen this guy before. There he is. One large bullfrog hanging out on the edge, just without a care in the world, it seems like. Which is pretty cool for him. And all right. So we're gonna wander along the trail a little bit more and see what else we might be able to find. It's a good day for it. Oh, look. more cacti. Just you go walk along here and you think, we've had lots of rain the last few years, and we see lots of greenery and grass growing, the trees are growing, but we still have cacti because we are kind of on the edge, a bit of a desert. It's very dry in western Kansas, and that's just something that lets us know that we are still in a very, generally speaking, arid environment. Although the rain that we got yesterday was pretty nice. And let's see. Let's go this way. And we might, just for the heck of it today, what do we have here? We have some scat. Things you find on the trail. And this, interestingly enough, is not dog poop. We do get dog poop on the trail quite a bit. But we also have a lot of skunks. And we also have a lot of, we have some foxes out here. And it wouldn't surprise me that we end up with a coyote every once in a while. But I've seen foxes and I've seen lots of skunks. And once upon a time we used to have a badger. So there's all kinds of indications of life on the trail, even when you don't actually see everything. It's also really fun at this time of year because you see the difference in the rates of which trees are leafing out at different times. So we got trees that are still bare, and we've got others that are greening up really nicely. Some of them that are greening up have lots of yellow flowers on them. So it's really a pretty time to be out on the nature trail. The birds are coming back, and you can tell from the rain last night, we're also already pretty muddy by our bridge. Let's go up over the bridge. And we can cut around. And this is a cool on the sort of island side of the opposite side of the creek. We're on the south side, and we have the trail goes right through the woods, right along the creek. So it's nice and shady and very calm, pretty. The insects have not started to take over, so we're not quite worried about being eaten by mosquitoes yet. But it's a very pretty walk. And let's see what's going on over here. Well, here's an interesting sight. It looks like the museum pickup. And we got people all dressed up over here. Now, Curtis had to have really been going over big time to make that sound with that saw that I heard when I was across the pond. So what are we doing over here, Curtis?
We're removing cedar trees.
Why are we removing cedar trees?
The cedar trees are a terrible invasive species.
Invasive? Where'd they come from?
Suck up tons of water.
We got lots of water.
We need more water.
I was just showing people the cacti and reminding them that we're kind of in a desert. So, you know, when we do get water, we kind of want to keep it around, eh?
Yes, we do.
Because we have a
Water runoff is good.
and we have a pond and we have a creek, and since we've started removing cedar trees last year, we've noticed that our creek and our pond stay completely full all year round, as opposed
And we now
to
have a spring that feeds into that pond.
yeah. And we took a look at that with all the duckweed in it and stuff a couple of days ago. So we went and flipped a cover board and saw our Great Plains skink.
Excellent.
He was very cute and hanging out with us, and other cover boards just have a lot of pill bugs underneath them, which is kind of cool too.
Well, the thing about that is it's so nice out right now. Things are not going to be underneath boards. They're going to be out sunning.
Yeah, it's
In
that
fact,
time.
We just captured a plains garter snake right here as it was cruising around.
I was just gonna. I heard the chainsaw. And I said, you know, the last time Curtis and Jacob were out here, they caught a couple of big snakes. So I thought I'd come sneak over here and see if you found any cool snakes.
Yeah, so this is part of our ecological restoration that we're working on. Trying to restore it back to native prairie and the way things should be. And having exotic trees that suck up all the water are not necessarily good for the prairie ecosystem.
Definitely not. And what's over here?
That's our beehive.
We have a beehive.
We have several beehives. So these hives belong to Greg Swab of Swabby Honey.
But we don't have any bees in them yet.
I don't believe so because they were pirated, which I didn't even know was a thing. But beehives and bee colonies can actually be pirated by other colonies where they will come steal everything and chase the other bees off.
So yes, we've had an issue with there's enough different colonies of honeybees that ours got killed by some other marauding set of beehives. So at this point we don't have any bees out here, but we hope to get some more out here because, you know, we like honey.
Yes, and he does share his honey with us, and it's fabulous.
Cool. Do we have we have boards over here, don't we?
Yep.
We'll go take a look at
Show
boards.
the man over here doing some work, getting work done.
Wow.
So as you can see, we've got a couple native trees growing up that are trying to compete with space and sunlight from this giant cedar tree. So once we remove this cedar tree, they will get a lot more water, they will get a lot more sunshine, and they will do a lot better.
Let's see. I do have a question here that says, whoa, what does that say? Where is this trail located? This trail is literally right next to the museum. So in the west side of the museum, in the parking lot, you can move to the trail, and there's a bridge that I just walked over to get over on this side. And now we're seeing us removing a lot of cedar trees, which were originally planted a lot to have wind breaks and blocks for the area, but they've grown up and they really do suck up a lot of water. And we've had a desert, or I mean, not a desert, we had a drought for a number of years, which, basically dried out the creek and pond. And it's been wetter the last few years, but one of the amazing things is when we start removing cedar trees, the water table along the creek has just gone up drastically, so that we have filled up creek and pond, which is really amazing for our diversity of life out here at the trails, because we have Curtis and Jacob are doing a study on turtles. They're doing turtle trapping. They've done fish surveys in our pond. And so it becomes a really cool area.
Hey,
Yep.
we caught 9 turtles. I'm going to take you over and show you those
We caught 9 turtles. Awesome.
so I can get caught up.
Where did we find turtles? So Jacob is going to take us. They're still in the traps?
No, he took them out. They're in bags waiting to be processed.
So they got them this morning? Cool.
One recapture, so you can see what those look like too.
When were the traps put out, Jacob?
The traps this week were put out yesterday morning. No, Tuesday morning. It's hard telling what day it is anymore. Yeah, traps were put out Tuesday morning. I got checked Tuesday afternoon. Got checked yesterday morning, and then got checked this morning. So nothing yesterday, and then we had a big boom today.
Is that partially because it rained yesterday?
Yeah, it's hard telling, but it could be. I think a lot of it comes down to basically just having the trap set for a longer period of time. You put the traps in immediately. Nothing's really going to get in there for the first maybe day and a half, and then things will get in there.
What do you bait the traps with?
So we bait the traps with, I'll actually show you. It's sardines in Louisiana hot sauce.
Kansas turtles like Louisiana hot sauce?
I guess so. It's like the premier bait for a lot of people.
Well, obviously a bait for people, but a bait for turtles is a whole nother thing.
Yeah. So this is my very dirty field vehicle, but so there you go. There's the sardines. They expired in 2017, so I can't snack on them when I'm putting the traps out. But here in the shade, we have all of our turtles. So these are just like quarter barrel sacks. They're nice and breathable. So here's this is a
Oh, it's a painted turtle.
And so you see that he's got numbers written on him. So this is just nail polish. Eventually it'll come off as he goes about his business. But for this summer and for my study, I basically mark them. And so 04 corresponds to a certain pit tag number, which is just like a little microchip, like you chip your dog or your cat. So then I can take this reader, let's hope that's still in him. And there you go. So he's number 1809. Which then, so it's easier to spot them. I just write 04 or 06, 7, so on. So that's what a recapture looks like. And then,
All right, a painted turtle. What's its scientific name?
Trisomes picta, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I get it a little confused because there's Trisomes scripta as well. I'm a bit dyslexic, so sometimes I get them mixed around a little bit.
Well, you know, it's kind of cool because a lot of times we get painted and turtles and red-eared sliders mixed up, and they're different
Right.
genera. We have,
Which is what this bag's all about. So we have nice big female painted,
it's a beautiful.
another female painted.
And how do you know they're females?
If you look, they got really tiny tails back here compared to what a male would have. And they have short little claws, and then something this size is usually going to be a female.
Because females are
Bigger.
bigger than males. Yep.
This guy,
Oh,
it's a little different on the belly there. So this guy is a red-eared slider. He's hiding really nice. He's just a little baby guy.
but he's yellow.
Right, so he looks a little bit different. And so, let's see if I can grab, I know we have a big female we caught. Let's see if we can, I'm trying to get away here.
Oh, look, they're very quick.
Come here, Miguel. So here is what an adult of the red-eared sliders would look like.
So, yes. So this is a female probably also?
Yeah, probably a female just because of this pretty big size. And again, got pretty short nails.
Let's
compared
take
to-
a look at that. There we go.
Compared to what a male would have.
Males have very long, and this is her front end, so you can see there's her, she's hiding a little bit.
And so this isn't the same species. This is, again, that painted turtle. But I mean, you can see just a tiny little turtle almost has longer nails than this female. So it's probably a little male, and you can look, he's got a pretty long tail back there.
Oh, yep, there we go.
Yeah, and so
So tails and nails.
tails and nails is how you can tell.
And the fascinating thing is, yes, it's the males with the long nails.
Yes, and so they do a courtship. And so they'll wriggle their fingers like this in front of the female and kind of tickle, and that's how they court their female choice.
Look at my dance. Look at the nails I've got.
It's a dance, just like a lot of birds or even some humans out on a Saturday night, maybe getting their dance moves in. Just the same thing.
So it's a little bit opposite from humans, where, you know, it's the females that have the long nails.
Right. So opposite from humans, yeah. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
So
I guess I can show you guys the kit we use as well to process these turtles. We'll be processing these turtles later after we get the cedar tree cut down. It's just because we like it when it's nice and cool to cut cedars.
So I could have guessed that we had painted turtles and red-eared sliders. Do we have any other types of turtles in this pond?
So we have seen common snapping turtles.
Common snapping turtles.
And we also have seen spiny soft-shelled turtles, which is really exciting for me because they're one of my favorite turtles. So here's what our kit looks like when we pit tag. It says skinning kit, so repurposed. So got all this fancy stuff. I have some desanitation stuff, not here, but so we have our syringes. And we take one of our needles, screw it on, and then we pick up one of these little pit tags. I don't know if you can see them in there. They're kind of look like a grain of rice almost. And so we'll load that up into the needle, sanitize the turtle, the area that we're going to be pit tagging, and then give them a little pit tag, close up the wound. That's pretty much it. And then give them a number. So, you know, just like you paint your nails, we paint the back of the turtle.
Do we take anything with, you got,
Yeah, so
do we measure size?
yeah, we take a couple different measurements, and so what we do is we take plastron and carapace length, so the belly part of the shell and then the back part of the shell, we take those lengths, and then we put them in a bag and we weigh them.
Oh, so we get their weights too, huh?
Yep, I'm trying to think what else we do. We get the sex, so male, female. That's pretty much it on the data sheet. And so throughout the summer, so we have that recap, I'll go ahead and measure him again. See if he's grown. Probably not, since we caught him 2 weeks ago. He could weigh a little bit more. But yeah, so it's kind
Do you do this at the end of the summer too? Do you notice that there any of them that have grown quite a bit?
This is my first year doing it.
So brand new.
Yeah, so we don't know. We'll find out soon enough, hopefully. It'll be interesting to see for sure.
Now these guys get along. Is there anything that do painted turtles and red-eared sliders generally get along fairly well or not?
You know, for the most part, you'll see them out on the logs when you're walking the trails. You'll see them basking together. What's interesting for us is we'll see, right now our ratio is we're seeing more painted turtles than sliders. So it'll be interesting to see if that flips, because sliders a lot of times they can come into a system and they can kind of bully out some of the smaller species of turtle. And so it'll be interesting to see if that actually happens here in our little pond.
Very cool. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Reese. I'm
Well,
gonna get back and help Curtis.
get back to work.
Oh yeah.
And you can see that we weren't that far away from our pond. And this is probably getting closer to one of the deeper areas of the pond. And when you come down here to the pond, it's kind of cool. You can actually see oh, there's frogs swimming, but there's the turtle trap that they put out here. So you can put the sardines with the hot sauce in the trap. The smell, the chemicals get out into the water and it attracts the turtles. And when they're caught in there, they've got food, but they also have an area where they can get up and breathe, because turtles have to get up and catch some air to breathe. But it's a cool area because there are lots of logs in the water, which provides basking space for turtles. And so there are a lot of times where you can come down to the pond and just take a look and find turtles basking on a lot of the logs that are near and into the pond, which is kind of cool. All right, well, I think I'm kind of in an area here where it's been hard to try to see if there's questions that have been coming in, because it's been kind of sunshine glaring into my phone. But if I come under here, aha. So you're looking at some cedar tree while I try to see what we've got going on here. Oh yes, Emily's who we saw. Max and Ava are walking the trails and watching the live feed. All right, cool. and Mitch has been watching. And Julie says that she loves that we're removing the cedars for water situation and conservation. All right, yes. Well, I think with that, because I know that Curtis and Jacob are gonna crank up the chainsaw again. So it was really cool because we got a chance to see a skink under one of the boards. Like Curtis said, they caught a garter snake out here because the snakes are all out because it's warm and sunny, so they're out cruising the trails as opposed to being under the boards, which you're going to find them a little different times of the day. So if it gets really hot, they're under the boards in the middle of the day, but usually mornings and evenings they're all out. But our skink friend was still under the board, which was really cool to get to see him. And we got to see turtles. That's awesome. You got to see some of the turtles that we find out in the pond that we're doing surveys with. And we're doing lots of conservation, water conservation, which is hugely important in this part of the state by taking out a lot of the cedars in the area. So there we go, get a chance to see conservation and a little biodiversity of the nature trails. So if you get a chance, come on out. You can self-isolate with your loved ones and cruise the trails and enjoy nature and the beautiful spring that we're starting to get here. So for me, myself, and I, thanks for joining me for the Dome from Home or the Trails from Home. And Ian will be with us this afternoon at 2. So have a great day. Give us a like, give us a share, and we'll see you again tomorrow.